Ready to engage.
You guys are wondering what happened with Apple, why is she not at Vegas, what went down with BTK. So today we're gonna hear Nicolette's side of the story. Hi Apple, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's morning here. So now news have broken out. A lot of people were wondering why you weren't at Vegas, because we all know you were a critical part of BTK throughout the season. So let's maybe talk about your experience in BTK so far.
Okay. So let's go back to where it all started, how I joined. And
Yeah.
some people might not know this, but me and Zane used to dislike each other, like way before NACT started. And at first, when I joined, it was like a little weird because we didn't like each other, right? And I think I'd say I'm like a private person, and I didn't really open up to anyone on the team except Cold World. And apparently, from what I heard recently, like I didn't find out before, but recently, from what I heard, he was talking to me to try to keep me on the team, or so I wouldn't leave the team. Again, these are all rumors that everyone's been telling me, but I actually don't know if it's true. But I found this out like after we won against A77, like the week prior to the finals. Okay, so
wait, let's first take it back. So you are obviously a pro player in the NAC, and you've been joining several NACTs before this in other teams as well. So the original reason why they wanted to, like why Cold War wanted to keep you on the team, is also because you're a really good player, and then they wanted you to be in that mid lane so they can proceed in this season, right?
Personally, I don't think that's the case. I think they wanted to keep me because, okay, the roster was me, Zane, Whole World, Milo, and Basic, right? And then we had subs of Arvel and Cardi. So, and the problem was that I was a very private person, so they wanted me to open up to someone, and that person would be Cold World. So they wanted me to, from what I heard, they wanted me to open up to Cold World, so like I wouldn't be like this outcast or whatever, not talking to anyone. But don't get me wrong, I talk to them ML wise, just not as like a friend. I'd say I only did that to Cold World, I guess, like as a friend. And I think they wanted to keep me in the team because they were scared of me leaving like mid-season. Like if he stopped talking to me, then I wouldn't have anyone, and they assumed that because he would stop talking to me, I would just leave like that. So that's why he was allegedly talking to me, from what I heard. And that's what I think. So
he was leading you on, as in like talking maybe a little bit romantically?
I guess you'd say like messing around. I mean, I'm not proud to say that, but yeah, messing around to like keep me on the team. But I don't think, yeah, but I strongly do believe that they kept me on the team because, first of all, it would be kind of messed up if I just leave mid-season and they don't have a mid laner, and I guess they knew that too.
Well, they asked you to join BTK in the very beginning because you're the best mid laner that they could find, right?
Yeah, at the time, because they had Demon at first, and a few weeks before NACT registration, Basic hits me up and says like, hey, we're not really working out with our mage Demon. Can you come join us?
I heard that from, I think, a clip of Basic stream or Zane's stream, that they also mentioned how they originally had Demon when Basic asked Zane to join the team or to form a team together. They had Demon, but then they didn't think Demon was good, so then they replaced Demon with Apple.
That is true. That they had Demon at first, and then a couple of the members of the team were not comfortable with it. And at first when he asked me, I was like, can you give Demon one more week, because I actually felt really bad about replacing him. And then a couple days later, the team as in like everyone else but Zane, they wanted to try me out, so we did 2-2 scrims where I played 2 games of scrims, and Demon would play 2 games of scrims as well. But that didn't work out obviously since I got into BTK, and I think he quit because he didn't feel comfortable with the members of the team that didn't want to play with him, and he eventually ended up quitting, and yeah, that's how I joined.
So they kind of pushed out Demon and then replaced him with you because you're... Well, Basics here says he's a captain of BTK apparently.
At the time, I guess Zane still wanted to give him a shot, which is why there was the 2-2 scrims, but I don't think Demon felt comfortable because there were people on the team who didn't want him playing. Like, I understand that feeling now as well, because I experienced it too. Like, if there's people who don't want you playing, that feeling's not good. So I do understand why he quit.
That's not good for team synergy.
Yeah,
and
like, you can't communicate well when there's internal problems.
And that moving ahead, you already in BTK. How have your experiences been? Walk me through your experience in BTK.
Okay, so fast forward to top 8 NACT teams were announced right before the start of the regular season. This was when like all the pictures of us were being released, and then I find out that Basic actually asked Marcuti to join BTK next roster change. And the regular season hasn't even started, and I'm not gonna lie, at that moment, I felt like quitting. Like, the regular season hasn't even started, and you're already thinking about replacing me. And I was thinking, like, why am I here if somebody isn't comfortable with me on the team? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you know how it feels, but that feeling isn't good when somebody wants to replace you. And I guess I didn't have a chance to prove myself yet. And because this was before regular season, like, we didn't really play. And this was also done behind my back. So, to this day, he doesn't even know that I know he tried to replace me. But I guess now he knows, since I'm talking about it now. But I'm gonna be completely transparent about it. Like, when I heard that, I thought about quitting, and I went to talk to my friend on the team, Cold World, and our coach, Midnight, and they talked me out of quitting. And I also thought about how selfish it was to just quit the team, since the rest of the team, Milo, Zane, and Cold World, they didn't do anything to me. It was just Basic who was thinking about replacing. And I also knew how much Zane wanted to win the tourney, so if I left, they would just be stuck with Arvel or Cardi for mage, and they both don't play it, so they would be like -1 for an important role that nobody plays on that roster. So I thought, like, it would be kind of messed up. But I also had the goal of winning, and I thought it would be pretty weak if I let, like, him just talking like that bring me down. So in the end, I decided to not quit, and just to prove him wrong with my NACT performance. But I never brought this up. And then, like, first match of regular season, we lose to Area 77. And Basic again goes around blaming me for the loss, saying like I got nervous or something. And then, this is all behind our backs, of course. This was also like a week gap from the last time he wanted to replace me, so like a consecutive week. So like 1 week before he's thinking about replacing me, and then right when the regular season starts, he's replacing me as well. But after the loss, the team morale was pretty shit, and we were like drifting away from each other because obviously we don't like losing, and we didn't feel like a team. And we figured out that we had to do something if we wanted to win. Like we can't keep this shit morale up, especially since we had a GG game coming up the next weekend, which was the most important one. And I would like to say that the talk did something. The team morale like boosted, like it got better after we talked. And then from then on, I would like to say that there were no problems until a week or two later about the whole GG and BTK drama, where Shark wanted to replace one of the members or something. I don't really know, but
and yeah, that's a different drama that we don't need to go into.
And then this is when Basic tells everyone that I'm sure Hoon mentioned it somewhere, like those DMs got leaked, and then he tells everyone that it was to ruin GG's mental or something. And then we skip a few weeks where we just lose to GG in the playoffs, right? And then this was when I find out that Cold was like messing around or toying with me, right? And then he allegedly had a girlfriend while messing with my emotions. Obviously, I don't know if it's true because I'm also hearing multiple things, but that's what everyone was talking about at the time. And so that like shut down my mental a bit, because at that point I was like a little bit emotionally attached to him, and finding that news messed me up a bit. Not a bit, that shit messed me up a lot, and I decided I was debating whether I was mentally well enough to play for the match tomorrow, which was the Area 77 playoff match. But I decided that I'm better than that again. Like, I wanted to push everything aside and just focus on winning, because we're like 2 to 3 months into the season, and then I just quit like that randomly. That would be like a waste. Like, I wasted 2 to 3 months scrimming for no reason, just for some stupid shit to mess it up or something. And then we ended up winning, and I tried my best. And then this is where shit gets shady. Like, I would like to say, like, not even 5 to 10 minutes after we won the Area 77 match, Basic is already deeming Marcuti to join us behind my back. And I find out from other people, and not from him directly. And when I heard about that, I immediately went to talk to Midnight and asked if he was gonna let it happen, like roster swap, last minute change. And Midnight, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. but then the team finds out about a whole world drama shortly after we won. Like, cause they sensed that I was acting weird. Like, before A77 match, I was acting like a bit weird, but nobody knew what was happening. But they find out after we win, and they're like, nope, we're not gonna deal with that unless you guys fix your problems. So from what I heard at first, Milo and Zane were like, what the fuck, that's fucked up what you're doing to her. And I'm not gonna lie about it, even though, like, what he did to me emotionally, this is what happened, even though, like, their perspective changes afterward. Because after, like, a couple hours later, they eventually agreed to getting Marcuti. And I wanted to fight for my spot. Like, in my mind, I'm like, there's no way I scrimmed, ranked, and reviewed games every day for 4 to 5 hours just so I can have my spot, like, given up like that. And yeah, they wanted me and Cold to fix our problems, and that's what we did. Like, despite all the drama bullshit, like, we agreed to, like, just move past it, and we were gonna be adults and focus on the bigger thing, which was winning. Like, we have the same goal. And sometimes in life, you just need to work with people you don't always like. And then we go up to the team and tell them that we fixed our problem. And at this point, this is a few days later, and I'm still trying to fight for my spot. And then, when they heard that we fixed our problems, they still wanted to do the 2-2 scrims, like 2 games with me and 2 games with
Marcuti. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm like, we did what you wanted, we fixed our problems. And I was complaining to Midnight, like, why do I still have to do the 2-2 scrims after we fixed our problems? Isn't that the main issue? The connection or whatever between me and Chris, like, oh well, sorry. Like, there would be problems between us, is what they were worried about, and we fixed it. And then this was when I started to realize it was just an excuse they were using to try to replace me. Like, I just feel like they just really didn't want me.